Today we'll be walking through the inland marine underwriting agent on Simple AI. The idea of this agent is to take in a policy submission that falls within the domain of inland marine underwriting and inland marine insurance, whether that's builder's risk, contractor's equipment, or transportation floaters. The agent works by first breaking down the contents of the policy, comparing it against any internal appetite guides if necessary. Then, as part of this domain, there's often an equipment cost that relates the rate and the breakdowns of rate for the policy. So we upload that CSV file. And finally, there is a comprehensive rate calculation, a risk analysis, and then a proposal that follows for further processing and underwriting. We're going to begin by actually uploading this policy. Now, this policy can either be uploaded directly by the underwriter or it can be asynchronously retrieved from your internal systems. For the sake of this demo, of course, we're going to go ahead and just upload this policy and we're going to begin the process. Now, as part of this process, as I mentioned, there are 5 different steps ranging from parsing the application all the way to generating that final proposal, right? And the information in this workflow flows from node to node using structured JSON format, which in the beginning looks a little difficult to comprehend, but at the end of it, there is a very human readable report that is prepared for the underwriter to process further. Now, the application first begins, depending on the complexity of the file, with parsing all the data that's necessary from that file. In our case, as I mentioned, that step begins through our file parser node. And very shortly, you are able to see that structured JSON output for all the information that is present in that file. As I mentioned, there is an equipment cost node that is a part of the process. We're going to go ahead and actually upload that CSV file. Once again, this file is also very capable of being retrieved internally without human intervention. And in just a few seconds, again, there is a breakdown, a comprehensive flow of all the information that is necessary to then consequently calculate a rate. Now, rate calculations, of course, vary from carrier to carrier, but for the sake of this demo, just to show the capability of the platform, we are calculating certain arbitrary metrics on the basis of internal appetite guides and also the policy documents. We're going to go ahead and calculate this rate using our code executor node. Again, just a few seconds, and that rate for each equipment breakdown and also the property or the equipment contractor is listed out. Finally, we're going to go ahead and proceed to the risk analysis node. This node runs a third-party API call on RiskMeter. Now, some of you folks familiar with this domain may know RiskMeter, which is a platform where the address of the policy is uploaded and certain quantifiable metrics and success metrics are retrieved to facilitate the underwriting process. Earlier, underwriters would manually go ahead and upload this policy onto that website, find that information, and then circle back through their internal systems. But here, you are able to run an API call and just in a matter of a few seconds, the necessary metrics, in this case, that was the earthquake limit and deductible that was necessary for this underwriting process, that information is retrieved. And finally, to actually comprehend all of this in a very human format, we can go ahead and generate our proposal. Again, just a matter of a few seconds to take all the structured JSON output and finally create an entire proposal. This proposal can be downloaded as a PDF and it breaks down all your different summaries for the insured, the coverage overview, the deductibles that are listed, the conditions of the coverage, and also a final rate breakdown. So we have a premium calculation that has, again, been calculated through certain arbitrary metrics. And finally, it takes all that information, provides you with the optional coverages as part of the request, and gives you the binding terms and conditions, the contact information, and yep, that is the proposal created. Now, this proposal, of course, can be adapted and catered to your internal template styles and fashions, but for the sake of this demo, we are able to go from uploading that policy to just in a matter of a minute, getting that entire underwriting workflow completed.